Today's passage is a call to perseverance, and I want to suggest that perseverance isn't something that comes naturally to us. But if you've been doing the Bible in 1 year and you've got all the way to July, then you have definitely persevered. But perseverance is something we need, because not everything comes instantly and not everything comes without hard work. And we have got quite used to things being easy and coming quite instantly. Like, what's the point in making a meal all the way from scratch when you could just put something in the microwave and in 5 minutes it's done and you only have to wash your fork? But not everything does come quite so instantly, and not everything's easy. And certainly the things God calls us to don't tend to be quick. They don't tend to be quick fixes that we can do. He calls us to be salt and light in this world, and he calls us to love one another. These things involve relationship, and they even involve skills that we don't have yet. But God grows these skills within us. He gives us little exercises that grow us so that then he can trust us with the bigger things. And whenever we're learning to do something, there's always a point when you can't actually do the thing you're trying to do. And at that point, that's when the perseverance has to kick in. Instead of going, no, I can't do it and I can't be bothered, go, no, I'm going to do this and it's going to take time, but then you can do it. The author says, don't shrink back. And that is what's so tempting to do when we can't do stuff, just to shrink back. But he says, don't do that. And then the author gives us a few bits of advice in order to persevere. First of all, he gives us a reason to persevere. And one of the reasons to persevere is that God perseveres with us as individuals and with the whole of the human race. I know for me that there's certain things that I just time and time again struggle with, certain sins, and yet God says that I can draw near to him confidently, and that he'll sprinkle our hearts to cleanse us from a guilty conscience. And how gently he seems to do that, sprinkle our hearts. And secondly, he says to hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, because he who promised is faithful. This is the second reason. God is faithful. When it feels like it's so hard to hold on, remember that God is faithful, that our hope is in the one who saved the world, the one who is so much bigger than all the worldly things. And the third thing, and I love this, he says to spur each other on, make a conscious effort to meet up with each other and encourage each other and be encouraged. One thing I've just so loved about being on Soul 61 is living with other Christians. So many nights we've just spent chatting about what God's doing in our lives and praying together, and this has helped so much. So persevere and don't shrink back.